Greetings everyone, welcome back. Episode 5. We've had 4 episodes where we've covered all of the actors that played Doctor Who up to and including Matt Smith, who were depicted on the 50th anniversary Royal Mail stamp and stamp card series, and it was the stamp cards that we were particularly covering. To coincide with that stamp issue, a stamp sheet was issued. And there was also postcards, stamp cards relating to this. And this is the stamp card front, which depicts the sheet. And here you have the Dalek, an Ood, Cyberman, and the Angel. Yes. The Weeping Angel. They were quite scary. 4 stamps with protrusions which made them not quite square shaped, and in the centre you had a TARDIS stamp. Now on the back of this one there is a sheet used first day, and the first day here is for Cardiff. It's a non-pictorial cancellation. It's a more generic looking postmark style, but was actually one that was produced especially for this stamp series. And the reason why they picked Cardiff is because Cardiff is where the production company was for the return of Doctor Who with Christopher Eccleston and into David Tennant and Matt Smith. So Cardiff was the home of Doctor Who at that time. So that was why that cancellation says Cardiff. The sheet was small enough to actually appear on the front, to actually be applied to the front. So this is a postcard, but it actually has a sheet on the front, cancelled first day of issue with a pictorial cancellation. But you can see the join between the stamp sheet and the actual image on the card there. It was a bit of a unusual way of doing it, but a lot of collectors do prefer their sheets to be applied to the front. There's one of those. The design of the sheet was also used on one of the panes in the Prestige stamp booklet that we have mentioned in the previous blogs. There was 3 panes for the Doctors, one depicting the stamps for the first 4 Doctors, and then one for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th in a square, and then there was Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant and Matt Smith in a strip on a pane for the 3rd one. One of the other panes in the booklet was a pane that is the same as the sheet lit, but the sheet lit was self-adhesive, the stamps could be peeled off, whilst this sheet from the booklet was gummed and had to be licked to be stuck down. And also you have the addition of the side panel of the sheet here. So there's one applied to the card and cancelled first day of issue. I came across this one. I didn't do this one myself. All the other ones I've done myself. I found this one with a matching Queen's Head stamp, and it is dated the 26th of March 13. It has the TARDIS stamp, but because it doesn't have the words first day of issue anywhere in the cancellation, it could be applied to a different stamp. So it was applied to this Queen one, and I think this cost me 50p from a stand holder very quickly after the stamps came out, but the card was released. But I bought it in time to be able to stick this Sylvester McCoy stamp on it and have that cancelled with the 50th anniversary cancellation that was dated for the 23rd of November 2013. So it's an unusual combination. I'm not quite sure why someone decided to stick a matching Queen's Head stamp on it and have that cancelled with the TARDIS. It's nice, but it's one of the Doctor Who stamps would probably have been better, but it was unusual. So I bought that. The 4 creatures and the TARDIS were all individual stamps that could be peeled off, and they had their own cards. So you had the TARDIS card. They're used with the TARDIS stamp and cancelled with a TARDIS first day of issue cancellation. A nice combination. In the Prestige stamp booklet that we talked about with the panes, obviously we talked about the pane for the actual sheet itself, but there's always a definitive stamp pane, and the TARDIS stamp was the same size as the definitive stamps at the time, and these normally have stamps around a central pictorial label, and the label on this particular sheet, it was of the TARDIS, but you also got a TARDIS stamp in each of the 4 corners. The image there shows John Pertwee and Katie Manning. John Pertwee is the 3rd Doctor and Katie Manning is Jo. And that's cancelled first day of issue. 50th anniversary cancellation. That one I did do, as with all of these. This is another TARDIS card, used with the stamp with a different TARDIS cancellation, first day used, from March. I had some more bits and pieces left over after I'd done the cards in March, and even when I was doing the cards at the time, there was a few bits and pieces that were lying around, but I had a Sylvester McCoy stamp, so I had that applied here, and that's the 50th anniversary from November cancellation, which makes that again a nice little combination. I had some spare cards as well. I didn't have enough cancellations and enough combinations to be able to use everything, so there's a spare TARDIS card I had, used with a Paul McGann stamp, but cancelled for the 50th anniversary, the TARDIS November cancellation. And that was a card I had lying around, which I then used. The various creatures. We'll start with the Cybermen. And the stamp actually showed the Cybermen as they had appeared in the David Tennant stories and through. So slightly different design to the original Cybermen from definitely from the William Hartnell era, but as they evolved later, they changed. But as you can see, the hand and the bars on the top of the helmet all protruded out to the side of the stamp, and these were self-adhesive, so you could peel them off. There's the stamp with the Cyberman head first day of issue cancellation, which was the ideal combination of card, stamp and cancellation. I think that's very, very nice. I also did one with the stamp and cancellation on the reverse side, and I had a spare William Hartnell, which I applied the 50th anniversary November date cancellation to. So again, two cancellations, two different dates, both 50th anniversary. This was the card that was the most obvious one to use for the 2 Cybermen labels from the Smilers sheet with the 2 TARDIS stamps. Now that's cancelled first day of issue. As you can see, there's much earlier styled Cybermen heads on the labels, and I had a spare Patrick Troughton, so there's a 50th anniversary cancellation on the Patrick Troughton Doctor, 2nd Doctor, in the top corner. An unusual combination, but I still like it. And of course, the 2nd Doctor was in the story, the Tomb of the Cybermen. which was actually lost for many years, but then was found in a foreign country, a copy, and then released on video, and it hadn't been seen by many collectors. Only telesnaps and photographs and sound recordings. We didn't have an actual film version of it, but we do now. So there we go. There's a lot of Doctor Who stories that were lost. Some are still lost. Some episodes are still not available to view. Some have been animated and issued subsequently in the last decade or so. They've been doing animated versions of the stories that were missing. There's always the hope some of these will turn up. But there we go. That's the reason why Patrick Troughton is appropriate to go with the Cyberman. They did one of the creatures that was a more recent one. It was actually from the David Tennant era, and that was the Ood. And there you have the postcard of the stamp design for the Ood with the stamp, and probably appropriately the Alien cancellation for first day. And there you have one on the back, cancelled first day of issue. Before anyone says anything, yes, I know the Sixth Doctor had nothing to do with the Ood, but I had a spare Colin Baker one, so I've put it on this card and had that cancelled with the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who cancellation. So it's an unusual combination. Doesn't particularly match up well, but I still like the fact that I've got two different bits and pieces on this card. And the same goes for this one, because this is the Ood on the front with a special cancellation first day, and here you have Tom Baker with the 50th anniversary. And again, obviously with the Ood being from David Tennant era, Tom Baker's not the most highly appropriate of Doctors, but that was the spare stamp that I had when it came to doing the 50th anniversary cancellations, so I applied it and had it done. One of the most terrifying of the more modern creatures, aliens, is the Weeping Angel. And anyone who's seen the episodes with the Weeping Angels knows how frightening just the thought of them are. And I think the stamp captures the angel statue horror quite well. And there you have the card, stamp, and the first day cancellation. Here you have first day cancellation on the back. Matt Smith's Doctor with 50th anniversary, and Matt Smith did encounter the Weeping Angels. 2 stories, I believe, so very appropriate to have him included on this particular one. So as Matt Smith did, or Matt Smith's Doctor did encounter the Weeping Angels in at least 2 stories, certainly 2 stories that I can remember, it was appropriate to have his stamps on the front of this spare card that I had. This cancellation is first day of issue, and this one is the 50th anniversary cancellation. That is something that's a little bit different, but still is topical in its connection between the Doctor and the Weeping Angel. I like that one. By far probably my favourite card of these whole 5 episodes that we've gone through. And like many people, it's the Dalek. I love the Daleks, and I thought it was a particularly nice stamp. Here you have the card, the stamp, first day cancellation, depicting the Dalek. So I think that's a particularly good combination. I like that one a lot. And there you have the Dalek with that Dalek cancellation, first day on the back. And Christopher Eccleston with the 50th anniversary cancellation. And of course Christopher Eccleston's doctor did encounter the Daleks in several stories. And for the last card in these this set of cards from this issue, this is the Dalek card, but this has both the gummed sheet stamp for Matt Smith and the self-adhesive booklet stamp with its border here, both cancelled with the Dalek cancellation. That one's just a little bit different. It was a couple of bits I had left around when I was doing the original cancels, so it seemed to go well, so I put them together. I sent them off for this. That's all of the cards from the Royal Mail 2013 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. I hope you liked what I put together, and I also hope that shows you what you can do. I think collecting should be fun, and I do try and have some fun when I'm producing cards for my collection. I couldn't resist playing around with this issue, and as you can see, I produced quite a few cards. Very pleased with how they turned out, and they obviously part of my Doctor Who collection. But the series is not quite over. There's a 6th one, follow this one, which is Dalek themed, is connected, but is slightly different. If you'd like to see that one, please subscribe, link, share, and do all the stuff that you need to help us beat the algorithm that YouTube have. So if you can do that for me, I will be much appreciated. And I'll see you at the next one and the last one in this little series of vlogs for something a little bit different, but still Dalek themed. So I'll see you at that one. Until then, as always, goodbye. I'll see you later.
Postcards from Mars, they hit my door. Tiny aliens asking for more. Writing comments like a cosmic tour. I found stardust scattered on my floor. Nighttime skies like kaleidoscope art. Quicksilver dreams